Good morning, or I should say good afternoon, luminous women. Welcome to another episode of Becoming Luminous Women with me, Erica Greif. It is a beautiful spring day here, and I hope that this vibrational message greets you well. Let's go ahead and take this time together to ground ourselves into the earth, sinking our roots even deeper, giving ourselves the breath and the space we need to foster and nurture that space within ourselves that brings us clarity, that brings us ease, and brings us grace. And as we begin, as always, I want to call in the sister circle. See yourself around this circle, and the fire in the center is blazing. It's interesting because today I feel a bit of a floating within my system. And there's a sense of ungroundedness and expansion, which you would expect with the summer coming right around the corner. So go ahead and allow yourself to come into circle with your sisters, allowing your wings to spread open, and then coming in to allow them to rest gently so that you may land completely, sitting sister to sister, shoulder to shoulder, around our sacred fire once again. And as I call in the winds of the south, the Sachamama, allow her to remind you to walk heartbeat to heartbeat with the mother, belly to belly with the earth. And the winds of the west, Otarango, Mother Sister Jaguar. Allow her to pad around our medicine space here, bringing us her courage and her vision. She understands her territory and brings us that medicine so that we can understand ours, so that we can understand what it feels like, what our lives feel like when we live in integrity, having a complete circle of ourselves around ourselves, being the chalice and the Holy Grail, the vessel, as well as the void within it. This allows us to be able to know when we are within our integrity and when we are not. Allowing Jaguar to calibrate that once again in your system. Continuing to breathe now and bringing in the winds of the north. Sierra Kinte, Royal Hummingbird. Hummingbird teaches us to go on our epic journey as the heroine of our own personal story. And as we are growing in our medicine for ourselves first, and then eventually allowing that light to radiate out to the world, it is the hummingbird's journey, the heroine's journey. We have no baggage. We lift off. We know exactly where to go, and we only drink from the sweetest of flowers. We follow that inward spark. and the winds of the east. Great eagle, great condor, Apuchin. Eagle brings us that high perspective. It allows us to soar above our lives and survey the territory. Allowing us to fly, as they say, wingtip to wingtip with great spirit. Bringing the medicine of the Apus, the holy mountains, of the divine, the sacred geometry, all of those pieces, bringing them into our crowns and down as we ground to the earth. Now as we move to the Pachamama, our great mother, who nurtures, protects, empowers, and initiates. Connect with her now, allowing your luminous energy field to become heavier, allowing gravity to do its ultimate job, to bring a balance and an ease and a groundedness to our energy fields. It holds us on the earth, our physical bodies, but it also supports our energy body. And now, turning our attention to the sun, Father Sun, opening our hands, allowing ourselves to receive this medicine, always shining upon us, the great star. Always coaxing us forward, calling us forward. Grow. Live. Receive. Enjoy. Be at peace. You have what you need. Now grow. Beautiful Father Medicine. And Mama Kia, our beautiful grandmother moon, our mother moon, helping us to balance it all out, moving the water within us as women, moving the waters of our cycles. Wherever you are in your cycle, honor that right now. Know that it is perfect and in service to you, for you, through love. There is nothing in existence that does not have worth. And so feel this balance and the star brothers and star sisters shining upon us. The Pleiadians bringing their beautiful messages of peace and hope and love. Arcturians, higher consciousness, calling us forth. We call them all in here now. Fully supported by the medicine men and women who come to support us and hold us and love us and guide us and whisper to us in the wind. Feel yourself now around our circle. This is your time to connect to your sisters, to connect to Great Spirit, to connect to your totems, your spirit guides, the Pachamama, the blessing Father, the balancing grandmother, the wise star brothers and star sisters. This is your time. And so to begin, what I wanted to share with you today was something very essential that we often forget, that if we put it in the beginning of our day and we make it a priority, then the Tao-centered nature that we are, we align with it, and then we have the ability to be carried by it. It is when we start our days with intention for what it is that we intend to use our light, our spirit, our power for that day, that we instantly align with that. And when we allow ourselves to align with the Tao, the great way, the flow, the ease, the grace, the integrity that our Mother Earth, Father Sky, and Sun, and Grandmother Moon, and all of the natural elements, the foundational pieces of our existence, when we aligned with the stabilization that brings us, then we have only an open invitation to grow. We become grounded, stable, clear, focused, determined, and committed to our highest good. And so when we begin our day, there always needs to be some sort of bow to this place within ourselves. And you can do this in a million different ways. Everybody does it differently, as they should. And you will do it differently in your lifetime, as you should. Choosing maybe one day is one way and the next another. Maybe some days you have carved out a beautiful amount of time in your morning so that you can bring in a beautiful ritual, a beautiful meditation, some movement, nurturing movement. Or maybe you're having one of those days where you just need to get out the door and you're lucky to get some breakfast. All is well here. All is well. And you can still align with your Tao-centered nature then. It's just choosing to pause and align with it. So what does this look like? So I personally have many different questions and statements and offerings that I use. I choose to use sticky notes. And I will put the questions, the offerings, the statements, the intentions on the sticky notes, and I will put them in 3 particular places. 1, next to my bed. 2, at my altar. And 3, next to my toothbrush. So it kind of runs the gamut whether, I have to jump out of bed, brush my teeth, and run out the door. Well, there we go. Got a little bit of that sticky note is there, and I get a little bit of space. Takes me 4 minutes to brush my teeth. I have one of those electric toothbrushes. I'm one of those people. I love them. I love my Sensodyne. And I go through 2 cycles because they're 2 minutes each. I don't know if you guys are electric toothbrush crazy people like me, but I love it. And I know that I have 4 minutes. And in those 4 minutes, I read the statement that is in my bathroom. And this statement is the one that was developed through a dream advice and a question. And it was developed over 6 months last fall. And it's interesting because as it developed, I added the next statement. There's 3 statements. I added the next statement to the sticky note. So it's scribble. It's written in crayon at one point because that's all I could find. And I'm sure you've heard me talk about this before, but this one is the stable base place that I start is release resistance. Learn to love yourself through things by asking, what do you need right now? And this puts me in a place of, okay, Erica, as I'm brushing my teeth, what are you going to trust? How are you going to hold yourself? And it brings me to the place of learning to love myself. Continuing to be on that path of fostering this nest within myself. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. And then the question is by asking myself, what do I need? When you ask yourself, what do you need? And you tap into, your intention is to tap into the place of honesty and vulnerability. And all is okay. Just go ahead and love yourself enough to ask yourself that question and then answer it and then take action on top of that. So it's a simple question, but it can really open up things for yourself. So asking yourself, what do I need right now? Asking it in love, asking it in a welcoming place, right? That's why we release resistance first and learn to love ourselves through things by asking this question. It also fosters a place of, I can trust myself. I can trust myself to know or to open to and to allow myself to know what it is that I need right now. Sometimes I answer that question and I go, I really need to not just run out the door right now. I need to go sit at my altar, ask myself all the rest of my questions, sit with the Tao, take a walk or take a run, light my candles, sit in meditation for hours and hours. And right there, that tells me, okay, that's really what I need, and I need to get that on my priority list, and it needs to happen as soon as possible. And it is the love that's within me, and for my journey, truly the journey that brings me to creating this message for you. Touching base with you, each one of you in this circle, so that you can feel my heart saying, you are a medicine woman. You have medicine within you. You are cultivating it every day. It needs tending. It needs mothering. And you are the mother to do that. And it is my absolute honor to guide you and help you to do that and support you in that. So, that's the toothbrush sticky note. Then, the altar sticky notes, well, they're pretty in-depth. They are reminders of all the different questions and statements that I am putting out into the universe, holding within myself. So there's an intention there. It is my intention to create and bring out from within me the gift that I have to offer to my sisters, and to polish it up with clarity, making it the most perfect gift that I can give from myself to my sisters. And that is you. And so this aligns me with how I work. This aligns me with the integrity, grace, and love that is becoming luminous, which is the path of the medicine woman, created in the big story, I guess, of the heroine's journey. I myself am a heroine. I am the hero of my own story. And I believe you are too. So that is one statement that's on my altar. Another statement is the 3 questions that I have been aligning with for many years now that are from A Course in Miracles. These questions are directed to the Holy Spirit. Those are my words. That's how I internalize, understand the another aspect of the Tao. The magic carpet ride that we are on, the flow that we get to ride. And so my questions are, and these once again are from A Course in Miracles, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say? And to whom? Those questions right there. I also, even if I am not in front of my altar, I will often, if I haven't had a chance to ask those questions, I absolutely begin to feel a destabilization in my system. And I have been using them long enough that I kind of get a niggling, as they say, to, okay, why am I feeling unstable? Oh, I forgot to ask my questions this morning. I forgot to be in that space of intention. Another sticky note that's on my altar. I know, so holy, sticky notes. It are the 4 master functions of mother. And they remind me on how to mother myself and how to allow the Mother Earth to, and nature and the Tao, all the same thing to me, to support me. And so the 4 major functions here of Mother are, and I said them in our opening prayer, to nurture, protect, empower, and initiate. No small order. No small order. And every mother who has birthed a child on this planet knows that that is no small order. And in fact, the initiate piece, the empower and initiate piece of mothering is the absolute hardest. And it requires a medicine woman, a woman who is full of her own medicine. She has stabilized herself. She has nurtured herself. She has empowered herself. She has initiated herself. She has protected herself and created the integrity. She has created her luminous journey and is continuing to create it. Only then does mother have the ability to empower and initiate her child. And so on this great heroine's journey for me, it is not just to polish up my gifts and give them to my sister. To my sisters, it is to polish up and give them to my daughter as a sister one day. And, motherhood is constantly an empowering journey as well, an initiating journey. But the big expansion of it is when it is time for her to spread her wings and leave our nest. Speaking of nest, I often tell my daughter, who's 8 now, Calla Grace, just in case you haven't had that, I haven't shared that with you. She is an amazing being who I'm just honored and blessed to support and love and guide in this life. When right now she has braces, and I know early for 8, but she lost a lot of teeth really quick, and she didn't have enough room in her mouth, so that was the solution. She every time she doesn't want to brush her teeth, of course, as mothers, I'm sure you can understand, or just as women, it's like, oh God. And like I said, I'm a Sensodyne girl. I'm a toothbrushing crazy person. And oral hygiene is a big deal to me. So I explained to her that every time she does something to take care of herself, she earns feathers. She earns feathers that are creating the wings that she will use and is practicing with now. But as they develop, she will use these wings to leave the nest and to grow her next best life. And so think of yourself when you ask yourself questions in the morning, and place your intention around communication in the morning, centering yourself, grounding yourself into the truth of what really can come through you, through a small practice, whether it's 4 minutes in your bathroom, or it's 4 hours at your altar, or it's just a couple questions next to your bed that align you with your passion, with your desires, with what you really want in your life and what is really needing to come through you. Aligning with that clarity, aligning with that intention will allow the words that need to come through you, the behavior that needs to come through you, the love that needs to come through you, to be clear, precise, accurate, full of intention, grace, and love. This is the path of the Tao. This is the path of the mother. This is the path of the heroine. This is becoming luminous. This is your journey as a medicine woman, to allow yourself to do all the things that you need to do within your life, daily, weekly, monthly, moment by moment, for you to continue to gain the feathers that you need so that you can continue to fly. It's happening your entire life, not just when you are a daughter getting ready to leave the nest. And here is my nest epiphany, if you will. Lessons on epiphanies is what my guide said last night as I was falling asleep. Remember this, Erica, lessons on epiphanies. And they made me write it in my mind so that I would not forget it. So blessed to have guides who know that if I don't write it down in one way or another, that I will forget it and I will be saying, what were you telling me again? Lessons on epiphanies. I realized that a part of my becoming had become closed down very early on because of my early empathic abilities. And I'm sure most of you have had a similar experience where your early gifts either got completely blown out or they caused a recoiling or a shutting down. Because we could feel everybody's everything. We had no idea whose was what and whose was ours and who we were. And that is a completely unsustainable way of living. So sorting and sifting as we are constantly doing, I noticed that when I was offered something beautiful and lovely and gracious, there was a part of me, a part of my energy system that still had a protection around it that was nearly it represented the function of plastic. It would seal me in and make other things bounce off. Now, we all know that as empaths, and when we don't have the opportunity to hone it and own it just yet, that, we often feel like we need serious protection. And this is something that I created around myself, where no matter what it was, it would just bounce off of me. And I lived many, many years like that. And I couldn't figure out really where I was in the universe, because the feedback was not there. So it didn't matter whether something was coming at me or being projected at me, or there was negativity that would bounce off, but also the good bounced off. All of the love, the appreciation, the friendships, the kindness, that bounced off too. And it left me for a lot of years in my teens and early 20s in a place of feeling really lonely. And, as a empathic teen and early adult, to feel lonely is a very humbling experience, because we really need community. We really don't know who we are just yet, and we need that feedback to give us some information. So recently I have been given the opportunity to receive in a huge, huge way on many different levels, personally, professionally, in my sisterhood as well. And I noticed that there was a part of my system that still had this bouncing effect. And so as much as I wanted to receive with grace, integrity, and love, there were some things that just kept bouncing off. And it wasn't until I was in a sisterhood circle where I was being coached and by a beautiful sister, being witnessed by the whole circle, where I realized that what I really needed to create within myself was a space where love can land, a space where I can receive with honor and grace. And so instantly in my mind, in this session, Lessons on Epiphanies, right in this session, I instantly had this beautiful vision of a nest, a beautiful nest made of the vines of grapes, interwoven with some grasses in there as well, sitting in my second chakra, sitting down in that Cusco area, so first, second, third, a place where love can be received, honor can be received, someone's gratitude and support can be received in a deep, deep way, and absorbed in my system in an even deeper way than ever before. And as in this session, as I began to see this, there was an excitement and a gratitude and an opening that truly happened for me, where inside the nest there was 2 speckled eggs, down feathers, white down feathers, or swan feathers, really, white swan feathers. And anytime something landed in the nest, instead of the gift bouncing out, stardust bounced out. So it catches, and a celebration happens at the same time. Stardust. Yay! It's like confetti every time I receive, every time I choose to receive. And so this was the epiphany that happened, was this space where our divine communication every day, every morning sets us up to be able to open and be in alignment with what it is that we intend to communicate with. Feedback, back and forth. And also to have that intention not just be about what can I give, what can I do, how can I contribute with grace, honor, and integrity, but also how can I receive with grace, honor, and integrity. And so this is your call to action, dear sisters. Bring many spaces, many opportunities within your life, within your lifestyle, so that no matter what your day is like, you have the opportunity to give and receive from the luminous being who is being fostered within you, so that your medicine is always held with an integrity, and you have the ability to have graceful feedback in and out from the world around you. Always having clear intention in the morning of how you want to live, how you want to give and receive, and thus your communication energetically, through your behaviors, through how you give and receive love, and of course the words that you say, are in full alignment with what you intend. And with that, dear sisters, allow yourself to drink that in. And allow yourself to get out your sticky notes. Get out your Sharpie and your sticky notes and start writing what it is that you intend. Make yourself an intention and stick it on your altar. Make yourself little tiny instructions. You can use mine. Release resistance. Learn to love yourself through things by asking, what do I need right now? Stick that right next to your toothbrush. I have so much to offer you. And in fact, right now we are beta testing my new 6-month shamanic life coaching program. And soon I will be taking applications to enroll in that. If this is something that calls to you, if becoming luminous is something that pulls you forward, I would be honored to receive your application for a complimentary session through my website, www.becomingluMinousWomen.com. It is my prayer and my intention that the gift, the lessons of epiphanies that I have offered you here today blesses you deeply within your system. It raises your vibration and allows you to ground, center, and feel a wholeness within yourself. And as we honor the directions so that we can close circle here today, feel yourself facing south, thanking the Sachamama, the lightning bringer, thanking the jaguar of the west, thanking the hummingbird of the north, thanking the winds of the east and the eagle of the east, the Pachamama always holding us in all of her gifts, Inti Tai, which is the sun, Mama Kia, Mother Moon, and the Yapanapakuna, the Chaskakunas, the brothers and sisters, the stars. It is my prayer that this message has blessed your life and blessed your day. And with that, I say deep bow and aho.